Hello everyone, I am Hamajoda Ibrahim, and in this presentation I'm going to talk about the change process at Springfield General Hospital, and I'm addressing myself to the managers. The content of my presentation will be as follows. First, I'll talk about the problem overview, then steps for change implementation, the teams involved in the change process, techniques to foster commitment to change, and then I'll open room for your questions. So it has been realized that there is an increase in the number of medical mistakes on patients at the hospitals in the United States. Figures have been given as more than 770,000 patients who are being affected by this problem of medical errors. Some actually pay the price by death, or some have serious medical conditions as a result of the errors. These errors might come in different ways. It might be prescribing errors, confusion over drugs, which have similar names, less attention given to the effects of several drugs on patients and their allergies, and sometimes it might be due to poor handwriting from the physicians. These errors also cost hundreds of billions of dollars to patients, so the error doesn't just limit itself at medical conditions, but it actually costs a lot of money to the patients. This is why at Springfield there is a need to implement a change in order to remedy the situation. Steps for the change implementation are as follows. In order to make the change process smooth and effective, we need to use the stages of the Lewin change theory. First, there will be the unfreezing process, then the change implementation, and then the refreezing process. Under the unfreezing process, managers need to raise awareness of the problem caused by medical errors to employees and give examples in the form of videos which shows the gravity of the situation to the employees. This appeal to PT will put a zeal for change in the heart of the employees, and it's gonna make the process easier. Change implementation step. During this step, managers need to train employees on new methods of dealing with patients to avoid mistakes. There should be several control stages in every treatment to ensure that the process is error-free, and the assistance of software might be used in order to track the prescriptions and the medical history of patients, which will be used as a form of assistance to the physicians. During the refreezing process, the managers want to make sure the change processes that have been implemented become part of the organization culture or tradition. So at this stage, the managers should make sure the employees follow the new procedures to avoid errors. So in order to ensure that this is the case, regular random audits should be scheduled to make sure the process is carried out as required. And statistics of medical errors should be reported at meetings to make sure the process is effective. The different teams involved in the change process at Springfield Hospital will be every member that interact with the patient when they come for a treatment. The nurses will be responsible to ensure that the correct information of patients are written down, and as for the physicians, they will make sure the correct prescription is given to the customer and make sure side effects are taken into consideration. The managers will be required to make sure the process of treatment goes within standards, and this is going to be done in the form of audits. So in order to the zeal or commitment to change in the employees, the managers need to involve every team member in the change process by listening to their suggestions and taking their suggestions into consideration while carrying out the decision-making process. The managers need to make the employees understand the devastating effects of any medical error on patients. So this will make the employees more careful when they are carrying out the treatment of a patient. Managers also need to offer bonuses to the team members each time statistics show that the amount of errors are low or actually zero. So this will make the employees work harder because they can get bonuses in cases where there are less errors or actually no error at all. When employees feel this much level of involvement, they will be more committed to the change. So this page provides the reference which I've used for the case study. And I thank you very much for listening. And now I can take your questions.